Licking County, look what I found. Great big footprints sinking in the ground. It's a legendary Sasquatch hiking through the yard. Some find it easy to believe, others find it kinda hard. He's big around the middle and he's broad across the rump, going 90 miles an hour, taking 40-foot a jump. Ain't never been caught or ever run up a tree. Some folks say he sings a lot like me. Not many people have had him in their view. Is Bigfoot a legend or is it really true? To some it seems funny, to some it seems odd. It's harder to find Bigfoot than it is to find God. He's big around the middle and he's broad across the rump, going 90 miles an hour, taking 40-foot a jump. Ain't never been caught or ever run up a tree. Some folks say he sings a lot like me. To some it seems funny, to some it seems odd. It's harder to find Bigfoot than it is to find God.
Hey kids! Yesterday was awesome! Didn't you love those Bigfoot stories? Now I'm looking for Bigfoot everywhere. How about knowing that God is with us everywhere we go and in everything we do? No one compares to how great God is. Well, we have a lot to do today and a lot of really cool things to hear about. Let's start with Jared and his daily report on fun facts and findings about Bigfoot.
To some it seems funny, to some it seems odd. It's harder to find Bigfoot than it is to find God.
Welcome back to Fun Facts and Findings. I hope that you have been having a great week so far. I know I have. Today, let's investigate the different types of these tall, stinky, hairy creatures. Now, for hundreds of years, there have been tales of hairy wild creatures living in the woods, looking more like tall gorillas than people. The legend of the Bigfoot sends people into the forest with cameras and tracking devices, all hoping to see if the stories are true. The stories of Bigfoot aren't told just in the United States. There are stories of Bigfoot found in Canada. Now, can you point to Canada? If you said the dark red part, you are correct. Now, Bigfoot got its name after really big footprints were claimed to be found in California. Do you remember the footprint I showed you Monday night? If not, here it is again. Big, isn't it? The Himalayan mountains in Asia are where the Yetis are supposed to live. They're tall and have white fur and walk in the snow. Now here's a chart showing the size of Bigfoot, Yeti, and you. We talked a little bit about his size the other night. Now here we can see him compared to maybe your height. In Australia, there are Aboriginal legends about the Yowie, a tall ape-like creature, with sightings continuing to this day. Here's a picture of a Yowie. Oh wait, that's a picture of Pastor Doug. Here we go, that's better. Japan has reports of the hippogone, which looks like a small ape with dark fur on its body, white hands and feet, and very stinky smell. Here's a picture of a hippogone. And China has stories of the Yuran, a shy creature with reddish fur. Here's the picture of the Yuran. Whether these legends are true or fake, or just bears having a bad hair day, the secret is in the forest. Well, my friends, until next time, keep searching. See ya.
We learned some interesting facts yesterday. Some say he's tall, anywhere from my height to 7 feet tall, and he's really hairy. We even saw some tracks. Look at this fossil.
It seems to me that there's a lot of different versions of what he looks like.
Do you think there are more than some types of Bigfoots? Maybe a family of the same type of creatures?
You know, they seem to describe him as like a hairy human. Or maybe like an animal. Or maybe he's a lot like us. Maybe he's a big human that does not like to be with people anymore, so he just stopped shaving. Or maybe he has a sickness that makes his hair grow really, really long and really fast and he just can't find a barber.
That's terrible to even think about. What if all Sasquatches, Bigfoots, Yetis were all cousins? Wouldn't that be something? Maybe they talk to each other on their cell phones.
I think you're getting a little ahead of yourselves.
You know, it is interesting to think that if God made us, he also made them, him, whatever. Since God's made, you know, everything.
That is a cool thought. God knows Bigfoot.
Well, it's time to go on an adventure of our own. Maybe we'll get to meet Bigfoot ourselves.
Most of all, don't forget the bug spray.
VBS Land and Finding Bigfoot. Hope everyone's doing well today. Today we're going to talk about God and how awesome a God we have. Like King David out of Psalms 139, "For you created my inmost being, you knit me together in my mother's womb. I praise you because I'm fearful and wonderfully made. Your words are wonderful and your work is wonderful." We're all different. I'm different, you're different. God makes us all different. We're very unique. No two people have the same fingerprints, so it makes us different. Just like us, animals are different. Snowflakes are different. There are no two snowflakes alike. Snowflake tastes good. Stand out in the wintertime, catch your mouth, they taste good. Take the trees. No two trees are alike. There's several species of trees. And God made that. God knew what he was doing when he's laying everything out. He knew the puzzle. If you look in this forest today, the best time to be in the woods is in the fall. There are so many colors in the woods that Crayola cannot put that many colors of crayons in a box. The fall is the most awesome time to be in the woods because you really get to see God's beauty in creation. Like the woods, look at us as individuals. Everybody is beautiful within. No two people are alike. I'm not like my wife. My wife's not like me. I'm not like Owen. Owen's not like me. And I'm not like you. He creates us to be different, so we're all unique in our own pattern. Like Bigfoot. We're talking about finding Bigfoot. It's quite hard to find Bigfoot. Everybody's got a cell phone camera. Myself and a lot of other people like to hunt, like the outdoors. We all have trail cameras. We use them to take pictures of deer. Haven't seen Bigfoot on a trail camera. Haven't seen Bigfoot on a camera anywhere. So I'm thinking maybe Bigfoot is the ultimate hide-and-seek championship. Or, in this day and age, maybe he's just staying away because of COVID because he cannot find a mask that fits him. Never know. So, humans, us, like I said, we're all different. God made each and every one of us. He knows our toes. He knows our finger. He knows how our face feels. He knows every piece of our body. We were built by him and made by him, and we were made to help serve him and spread his word. With that, we owe him a lot of thanks and gratitude. And you can show that by praying. A lot of people say, how do you find God? Look around. God is everywhere. Look at me. Look at yourself. We're all unique. We're all built by God's hands. God is everywhere. Unlike Bigfoot. There's not been too many people be able to find Bigfoot. We've still not located Bigfoot. But everything we touch and do is because of God. Because he had the forethought to put everything there for us. Everything we have, we owe to God. From the day we're born, we're so small. We're tiny. You can fit in the palm of your hands like that. And as you get older, you grow. Your bones grow. Your mind grows. You become your own person. Your personality grows. That's done by us, but it's done by God. God's given us that. Let us grow to be our own person. Be our own flower to investigate things. We're in the beautiful outdoors. You look at these trees. You look at this hole right up here. I guarantee you, in that hole, there's a bird's nest. That hole was made by a woodpecker. Why did you say woodpecker? Because the woodpecker flew by and thought, there's a bug or something in that tree. See, peck that hole to get a bug out. Along comes a mother bird trying to find a nest, so she puts her nest there. That was all started and created by God. He gives us what we need. We just need to understand it. And when we don't understand it, we need to pray to him for guidance and for him to show us what we need. Just like in the summertime, we're hot, we sweat. In wintertime, we're cold, we put more clothes on. So we'll go back to nature. The deer. When a deer is born, it has spots on it. It's known as a fawn. In the summertime, they're a light colored coat to them. But as the summer turns to fall, fall turns to winter, the coat gets darker. Why? Well, summertime the coat's lighter, so it doesn't attract that much heat. Where it comes the wintertime, you need a little darker coat. A, to blend into the wilderness, blend into the woods, so they're not picked up very well. Plus it helps with body heat. A deer's hair is unlike our hair. It's not flat. The deer's hair, right here, is cone-shaped. It's hollow. It stores oxygen in it. That's what helps control their body temperature. In the summertime, it's got air, helps keep them cool. In the wintertime, it stores air, it stores their body heat, helps keep them warm. So when they're laying down, sleeping at night or during the day, in the winter, when it's snowing, the snow sticks to them, it does not melt off. That's their insulation. That's all done by God's hand. God has seen the forethought of how are these creatures going to survive, so he gave them that type of coat and hair to be able to do that. That's awesome. That is truly awesome. For us guys that like to shave their head, when you don't have hair, sweat goes in your eyes. That's why God gave us hair, to help keep the sun rays and that off your head. For me, to help keep sweat from running in your eyes. And some guys don't shave, it just naturally falls out. But that is another story. Well, God knows everything, sees everything, and he is everywhere. Everywhere in our day-to-day lives. You don't have to be in church to see God, to feel God. Every day, God is always around us. God even knows what day is going to be our final day on earth, and that we can go to heaven and meet him at the pearly gates and be reunited with him. God knows what you're doing tomorrow before we know what we're doing tomorrow. God knows we're going to go here with this person before we know we're going to go here for that person. That's how awesome God is. But we need to spiritually reach out to him and pray. Is there a right way or wrong way to pray? Do you have to be on your knees? Do you have to look up to him? Do you have to put your hands up? However you feel comfortable reaching out to God. Myself, I reach out to God quite a bit in the fall, just like other outdoorsmen reach out to him. I pray to him. I thank him for such an awesome color palette. I thank him for everything I have in my life and for allowing me to be in the woods to take in his creation. And it gives me time to reflect and thank him for what my parents have done for me, what my church family has done for me, what our pastor has done for us. There's no right or wrong way how to pray. It's just encouraging to always think of God and pray to God and thank him, because without him and what we have, we wouldn't have anything. And like I've said before, God knows each and every one of us. He put us together and he built us. You know, God, my name's Rob Pierpont, and thank you for everything. Why don't you stand up and look up and thank God. Tell him who you are. He knows who you are, but let him know that you're acknowledging that. Thank you for everything you've done for me, God. And don't be afraid to pray out loud or pray in front of people. Christ is catching. Sometimes you just have to open the door to people to let him know it's all right. It is cool to come to VBS. It is cool to pray God. It is cool to thank him for what you do. And speaking of that, let me close in a prayer. Dear God, thank you for everything you're doing here at Utica Church of Christ and with the VBS this year being virtual. Thank you for everybody that's had a hand in my life getting me where I am now. And thank you for allowing me to be part of this VBS program. And thank you for giving me everything I have in day-to-day life that I might take granted for. I should not take it for granted, because tomorrow is never promised. So we have to live life to our fullest and be sure to thank you every day. In Jesus' name, I pray. Amen. Thank you for joining us today. and tuning into the VBS and finding Bigfoot? No, I don't really see any Bigfoot. Didn't hear Bigfoot. I've looked for some signs. I didn't see any signs. But I'm not saying Bigfoot's not here. And I'm not saying God's not here. Why am I not saying God's not here? Because God is here. Look around. Got a beautiful sunset. 6 o'clock in the evening, it's starting to set. The bugs are flying around we swat at. The bugs have a reason to be here. God is everywhere. Always remember that, and always be very thankful. God bless. Have a great afternoon.
To some it seems funny, to some it seems odd. It's harder to find Bigfoot than it is to find God.
Welcome to Sasquatch Crossing Wednesday, the third night. And after our trip in the woods yesterday, I thought we might make some dirt pudding. Here we have a regular size package of Oreos. You will need 2 boxes of instant vanilla pudding, 3 cups of milk, 8 ounces of cream cheese, and a tub of Cool Whip. So let's start. First, we're going to crush up the Oreos. Okay, you want your moms to help you with this a little bit. Some of those you won't need it, like our granola you can do by yourself. But for this, we're going to use a food processor. So we're going to open up these Oreos. And we're going to put them in our food processor. You're going to use the whole package. No eating, no snacking in between. We need them all for our pudding mixture. And like I said, be sure to have a parent help you. Okay, empty. Okay, we're going to pulse it and grind them up. This will be our dirt for our pudding. Aha! Looks pretty good. I think we can make dirt out of this. Okay, we're going to put some in our bowl, half of them. Right now. Half of these, we'll press them into our bowl. Here's our bottom layer of dirt. Gotta make sure we got enough dirt in there. Okay, now on to the pudding mixture. And here again, we're going to have mom or dad or someone help us. We're going to put 3 cups of milk in a bowl. Then we'll add our pudding. This way you can make dessert for the whole family tonight. There's 1 box. Box number 2 goes in. This is amazing stuff. My mom always made it on the stove and we cooked it. I find this amazing. We're going to mix this up till it starts to get thick. It only takes a couple minutes. Okay, we've got our pudding made. Voila, instant pudding. Pretty cool. Let me go clean my beaters and we will get on with our next step. Okay, in our second bowl, we're going to mix our cream cheese, a cup of confectionery sugar, and 1/4 of a cup of softened butter. Be sure your cream cheese is softened as well. And we're going to, once again, go to our trusty mixer and mix this up until it's smooth. Doesn't take too long. And you will want it to look like this, all creamed up. Okay, so we have our bowl of pudding and we have our cream cheese mixture, and we're going to fold this into our pudding mixture. And we just work that in till it's all worked together. I used French vanilla pudding, so that's why my pudding is maybe a little bit darker than yours, because I like French vanilla. And we put the whole tub of Cool Whip in. Once again, no sampling. Got to get it all in there. And we're going to work it in as well. There we go, all mixed up. Now, let's put it in top of our cookies. If you don't have a food processor to mash up your cookies, you can always use a plastic bag and a rolling pin. Works as well. I did that. I've done that before. So don't worry if you don't have a food processor. We'll get all this good stuff in here. Like I said, my mother always told me, waste not, want not, so I always have to clean my bowls. Just have to bear with me. Spread this on, and then we'll add our dirt. Going back to our cookie crumbs. Does look like dirt, doesn't it? This is pretty cool. And now, for the fun part, the gummy worms. We get to open them, and what's left over, you can eat those. And we're going to stick them down in our pudding so it looks like they're coming out. Ooh, yummy. There we go. They do look alive, don't they? Dirt pudding. And you can serve it tonight for supper. Thanks, and we will see you tomorrow at Sasquatch Crossings.
So the other day you collected some tree sticks. The other day they were pretty thin. And what you're going to need today is those tree sticks that we have, some paper, some pretty hefty glue, and some buttons or little beads. You can also use foam pieces if you want. Anything you might have laying around the house that your mom has in her craft box, and she'll let you do. You want to make sure you do this at the kitchen table or outside on a picnic table, somewhere where it's not going to get real messy. But you're going to kind of figure out, I'm going to do this from your end, so figure out a tree trunk out of the sticks that you have and that you like. So you're going to figure out a tree trunk, and then you're going to take the other branches, and I kind of already started it here, and kind of fill in where you think it looks good, like a tree. And so we'll fill in some stuff here. And I'm doing this upside down, so hopefully it looks as good coming from your direction as it does mine. But you know, your trunk is going to be kind of your bigger stick, and then you got all these littler sticks. And you kind of just, you know, picture in your mind how you think a tree looks. I might have to turn it around here to see what I think. Maybe I need a little bigger one somewhere. I really like doing stuff with things from nature. I think it's adds just a different idea, way to do crafts. You might make your branches do different things, split off, or this one's a little too low maybe. And it's okay if you get extra glue on there because it's going to dry clear anyway. So that's kind of like a basic tree. Let me turn it around to see if I'm happy with that. Maybe I'm going to add a split in here somewhere. Make it look a little bit more like a tree. Or a little more real tree. And then you can decide if you want to do all your stuff in one color, or do you want to do different beads with different colors. So I'm going to lace them out here. I kind of like the different colors. I have seen like I saw one that had like blue and white. But then what you're going to do is you're just going to put some groupings of some beads and accent your leaves or your corners of your tree. You can put, like, I wouldn't do any more than 3 little areas to begin with, and then put your beads on there. And I think beads look better, if you have small beads like mine, they kind of look better on the side, I think, on their side. But you can kind of decide what you like to do, because that's what crafts are all about. It's whatever the artist actually thinks and what's good for you. But this is actually something that you could put in a shadow box. It'd be kind of cool to add your family name, you know, like people in your family to it, and do like a family tree and kind of add a different way to accent it. I might show you some ways to write, or if you know some calligraphy. I don't know if everyone knows what that name is, but fancy way of writing their family tree. But it'd be kind of cool to put everybody's name, or if you know somebody who's having a baby, it would be a cool present for them to put brothers and sisters. I saw this in buttons, and I thought it looked really cool with some buttons, or some wooded buttons would look really nice, or some wooden beads would look cool. Walk over here for a second, so take a look at that. Let me see if you can see it, how cool that is. And you can make it as big as you want, put as many accents as you want, and go with what feels, you know, what you think looks good. but using our wood today. I'm going to write the name of my family members that I like so much. And if you're writing in Sharpie, you need to take your time. You might want to draw this part out in pencil first. And so that you don't make mistakes. So you can write your letters and then put some little balls on the end of each end, and it looks really cool. And then I'll show you that when I get done here. And then I'm going to put their names out here, so as a Christmas present with some red and green gold accents. Got one more name. Trying to decide where to put it. I guess you kind of have to think about who you're going to give it to, or who you're going to make it for, so that you at least have enough branches. Okay, so all I did was I wrote out their names, and I put balls on the end of them. Just to accent their name, or just the letters of their name. And look how cool that is. So the bakers will be really excited about their woodland gift. Okay, that's all I have for today. Thank you for coming, and we hope to see you tomorrow.
Is a great big God. Our God is a great big God. Our God is a great big God, and He holds us in His hands. Our God is a great big God. Our God is a great big God. Our God is a great big God, and He holds us in His hands. He's higher than a skyscraper, and He's deeper than a submarine. He's wider than the universe and beyond my wildest dreams. And He knows me and He loved me since before the world began. How wonderful to be a part of God's amazing plan. Our God is a great big God. Our God is a great big God. Our God is a great big God, and He holds us in His hands. Our God is a great big God. Our God is a great big God. Our God is a great big God, and He holds us in His hands. Holds us in His hands, and He holds us in His hands.
Look at all the things we did today. And how about when we learned about all of God's creations, including Bigfoot? We look forward to seeing you tomorrow. Have fun singing along with these songs as we close out for today. Sing it loud and proud.
To some it seems funny, to some it seems odd. It's harder to find Bigfoot than it is to find God.